Hi, everybody. I'm Valerie Gotcher, the founder and executive director at BIND, the Brain Injury Network of Dallas. We'd like to thank you for joining Synapse Labs 2020. I have with me our BIND member, Diane, to talk with us today about cognitive processing speed. So Diane, would you introduce yourself and tell us how you got to know us at BIND?
Hi, my name is Diane Dunsmuir. I suffered a brain injury from adverse reaction to medication and withdrawal effects, and that began in December of 2015. And I chose to talk about cognitive processing speed because I think that is one of my greatest improvements that I've had.
Thank you. So let's share our screen with everybody, and I'll let you take it away.
Okay, so the first part of increasing your cognitive processing speed, and probably the most important, is to stay active. Socialization, which was really hard for me, I think helps a great deal. Physical activity, I did Zumba when I had good days, and then I just walked otherwise. Brain games, learning new things. If you don't have a place to do that, you can go on YouTube, or you can go to apps like Duolingo to learn a language. And volunteer work all were things that helped me stay active. And BIND offers all of these things at their facility. One of the things, especially early on, I pushed myself too hard, and maybe we all do. I had to learn to accept my current normal. And if you try to do too much, you'll set yourself up for failure and frustration. And it's better to stay slow and steady and to improve over time. Pushing boundaries is important. However, if you push too hard, like I did in the beginning, it can cause you a lot of discomfort and frustration. So it's important to learn your limits, and they might change over time for the good or the bad, and allow yourself plenty of time to rest and recover. And I had watched a video from a brain injury coach on YouTube, and she had recommended a 10% increase in activity as being kind of the max that you want to go for. So kind of stick to that 10% realm when you're trying to improve. So cognitive fatigue is kind of where the pushing boundaries can hurt. A little fatigue is good, you know, it's productive, but a lot of fatigue can be detrimental to your progress. The primary symptoms that I experience with cognitive fatigue is slowed processing. And it also brings on a whole host of other symptoms, including like flu-like symptoms, migraines, headaches, confusion, problems with movement, sensory sensitivities, problems with regulating emotions, a lack of motivation, and all sorts of other things that happen because your brain is not working where it would normally because it's tired.
Mm-hmm.
And cognitive fatigue can last days or even weeks. And during these times, I'd often stay in bed. I wouldn't eat right. I wouldn't exercise. And I would become very frustrated and lose my determination. And so that causes long-term setbacks. So again, slow and steady is best. With setbacks, and not in setbacks and related to cognitive fatigue, but when you're healing, when your brain is healing, changes in your cognitive function can vary during your recovery. And don't get discouraged if it's not as good as it was a month ago or a year ago. I know that last year I had a really bad year. For several months, I lost the ability to drive. But this year is actually my best year yet, and I've had a lot of improvement. And I once read that while the brain is healing, certain areas need to slow or shut down for other parts to heal. So again, with acceptance, accept that this might be your normal for a time, but if you keep staying active, you'll continue to improve. Lots and lots of rest is important. And as your brain recovers, your processing speed will improve. My biggest improvements were through my time at BIND and as well as helping my husband with his new business startup. I would do as much as I could comfortably tolerate and rest in between. I slept a lot, especially in the beginning. Both during the night, I would sleep a lot of hours, but also several times throughout the day. But in the long term, I had great accomplishments, especially with my processing speed.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That's really good information, not just for those of you who've had any type of acquired brain injury or maybe extended illness that's caused a setback and what you feel like is kind of a slower brain functioning, or some people refer to as brain fog. But you touched on things that we've covered in our other wellness series videos too, like getting adequate sleep, socializing with people, and maintaining that connection to others. And then a fun thing called neuroplasticity, we're also going to cover in a wellness tip video also. So all of these things definitely overlap, and you had great advice in there for all of us about getting enough rest, getting enough exercise. And then I will just add too, getting enough hydration too. Water is really, really important, and your brain needs that too. So thank you, Diane, for joining us. I really appreciate your input and your time and sharing your personal experience with us too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.